10,800 years ago, the night sky erupted in fire. What happened in that moment may have erased an entire chapter of human history. One that would challenge everything we think we know about our ancestors and their capabilities. This is the story of a lost civilization, a cosmic catastrophe, and the fragments of truth that survived in stone and memory. Section 1. The Forgotten World. The world of 8,800 BCE was nothing like the primitive landscape we've been taught to imagine. As the last ice age retreated, Earth revealed a paradise lost to time. Where the Sahara Desert now stretches endlessly, vast grasslands bloomed with life. Ancient rivers carved through landscapes that would later become dust. And where modern cities now stand, our ancestors gathered in numbers that would astonish us. These weren't the crude hunter-gatherers of popular imagination. They were astronomers who mapped the heavens with startling precision, artists who carved intricate symbols into stone, and builders who moved massive blocks with techniques we still struggle to understand. They had something we've lost in our modern rush time: to contemplate the cosmos, to wonder about their place in the universe, and to build monuments that served not the body, but the soul. Their world was connected by trade routes that spanned continents, by shared symbols that appear from Turkey to Chile, and by a common understanding of celestial mechanics that rivals our own. They built not just to survive, but to remember, to honor, and to preserve something precious for future generations. But then, in a moment that lasted mere seconds, everything changed. Section 2. The Impossible Temple in the Hills of Southeastern Turkey lies proof that our understanding of human history is fundamentally flawed. Göbekli Tepe stands as humanity's first temple, a complex so sophisticated that it predates agriculture itself. Built 11,600 years ago, it challenges every assumption about human development. Massive T-shaped pillars, some weighing 16 tons, rise from the earth in perfect circles. Every surface tells a storyline's prowl across carved stone, serpents coil around pillars, and abstract symbols dance in arrangements that suggest meaning beyond our current understanding. The craftsmanship is extraordinary, the engineering remarkable, and the vision behind it utterly mysterious. But here's what haunts archaeologists. This wasn't a settlement. It wasn't a fortress, and it wasn't built for any practical purpose we can identify. It was built for gathering, for ceremony, for something that transcends our modern understanding of necessity. And after centuries of use, the entire complex was deliberately buried under thousands of tons of earth. They buried it completely, carefully, as if they were preserving it for a future that might never come. The question echoes through time: what were they trying to save? And from what catastrophe were they trying to protect it? Section 3. The Cosmic Catastrophe. The answer may lie written in ice, in sediment, and in the collective memory of every human culture on Earth. Around 12,800 years ago, something struck our planet with devastating force. Scientists call it the Younger Dryas, a sudden return to Ice Age conditions that lasted over 1,000 years. But this wasn't gradual climate change. Evidence suggests it happened with shocking speed, plunging the world back into a deep freeze in decades, possibly years. And the cause appears to be written in the stars themselves. A massive comet, kilometers wide, fragmented in Earth's atmosphere, creating multiple airbursts that released energy equivalent to millions of nuclear weapons. The impact ignited continent-spanning wildfires, launched debris into the atmosphere, and triggered a nuclear winter that lasted for more than a millennium. The evidence exists in layers of microscopic diamonds formed under extreme pressure and platinum anomalies that appear globally at exactly the same time, and in a black mat of carbon-rich sediment that marks this catastrophic moment across North America and Europe. This cosmic impact didn't just change the climate, it may have erased the accumulated knowledge and achievements of an advanced human civilization, leaving only fragments and whispers of what once was. Section 4. The Knowledge Keepers. The survivors of this cosmic catastrophe faced a world transformed beyond recognition. Those who had once gathered in great numbers to share knowledge now struggled simply to survive. The sophisticated society that had built Göbekli Tepe was scattered, its centers of learning abandoned, its accumulated wisdom lost. But not everything died in the flames. Some knowledge survived, encoded in stone monuments that would outlast the catastrophe. Some wisdom was preserved in oral traditions that would echo through millennia. And some truth was hidden in myths and legends that we've dismissed as primitive superstition. The builders of Göbekli Tepe, in their final act of preservation, buried their greatest achievement. They sealed it away from the chaos that was coming, creating a time capsule that would wait 11,000 years for rediscovery. Their last gift to humanity was proof that we had achieved greatness before, that we had risen from simplicity to sophistication once already. Section 5. The Global Memory. Across every continent and every human culture, the same story appears with haunting consistency. A great flood, a fire from heaven, a catastrophe that destroyed the world that was and forced humanity to begin again. The Mesopotamians told of Utnapishtim, the Hebrews of Noah, the Greeks of Deucalion, and the Hindus of Manu. These aren't just stories, they're cultural memories of a real event that shaped human history. The details vary, but the core truth remains. Something catastrophic happened that forced our ancestors to rebuild civilization from the ground up. And in that rebuilding, much was lost. The sophisticated astronomical knowledge that appears suddenly in later civilizations, the precise calculations of the Maya, the cosmic alignments of the Egyptians, the star maps of the Polynesians, these weren't discoveries made from scratch. They were fragments of older knowledge, preserved and passed down by the survivors of the catastrophe. Section 6. The deeper mystery, but perhaps the most profound mystery, isn't what was lost, but what was preserved. Göbekli Tepe isn't just a temple, it's a message. The symbols carved into its pillars, the astronomical alignments of its structure, the very act of its preservation, all of this speaks to a deeper purpose. The builders knew something was coming. The deliberate burial of the site wasn't random, it was preparation. They understood that their world was ending, and they chose to save what they could for the future. In doing so, they left us a gift, proof that human consciousness, creativity, and intelligence are far older than we imagined. The carvings at Göbekli Tepe may be more than art. They could be a star map, a warning, or a record of the catastrophe itself. Some researchers believe the site depicts the very comet that destroyed their world, preserved in stone as a warning to future generations. Closing music builds to emotional crescendo. We stand at the threshold of a new understanding of human history. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe, the evidence of cosmic impact, and the global flood myths all point to the same revolutionary truth. We are not the first advanced civilization this planet has known. 10,800 years ago, our ancestors achieved something remarkable. They built monuments that inspire awe, developed knowledge that challenges our assumptions, and faced catastrophe with courage that preserved their legacy for us to discover. Their world ended in fire and ice, but their message survived. We are the inheritors of that message, the children of survivors who refused to let human achievement disappear completely. In the stones of Göbekli Tepe, in the myths passed down through generations, in the very fact that we exist to ponder these mysteries, we carry forward the light of a civilization that darkness could not extinguish. The cosmos once nearly erased us from existence. But we endured, we remembered, and we built again. The question that haunts us now is not whether we can achieve greatness. Our ancestors already proved that possible. The question is whether we will be wise enough to preserve it, should the stars threaten us again. The night sky that once erupted in fire still watches over us. And somewhere in its depths, new comets are born, new threats emerge, and new chances for both destruction and preservation await. The story of Göbekli Tepe reminds us that we are both more ancient and more fragile than we ever imagined. But we are also more resilient than we know.